And just like that, we back. It's the uncomfortable truth with Velvet Jones.
Quality.
Hey man, and you know, like we always do around this time, man. We got us a we got a special guest, man. All our guests are special though, man. But this brother right here, man, a chronic entrepreneur, a father first, a husband, a friend, a businessman, man.
It's a brand. It's a brand.
A one-man brand.
And a friend, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
the thing that people don't put in titles, but friend. You know what I mean? Because there ain't a lot of people you can call friend. This is somebody I can call a friend.
Mr. Shit don't stop himself.
Yeah.
Man, my man Jay from Itis Cuisine, man. What's going on, bro?
Man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that introduction.
Yeah, man. But, man, you know, we try to actually give people their flowers and let them know, you know what I'm saying, how we feel about them, you know what I'm saying, straight up.
That's what's up, bro.
You know, can't be on no funny shit though, man. But thank you for coming to the show and doing this for us though, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good look for you though. Look for us though, straight up.
My pleasure. You know what I mean? I reached out to my man Quad. I seen y'all doing y'all thing and watched each episode, and it's informative, man. We need stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shed some light on some things.
Absolutely.
So man, you know, you know, when all guests come on, we like to ask them, man, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from? Who are you? Who is Jay?
Yeah, where you from? What city you from? What part of the city? Where you grew up?
What part of the city?
I'm
from Northeast. I'm born and raised Northeast DC.
This what we need. This what we need. To fucking get the button to do the applause. Hey man, Northeast like applause.
I gotta find which one it is though, but I gotta keep going though.
Born and raised DC Providence Hospital, Northeast. Okay. Grew up on 60th Street over there in Northeast. You know, transitioned from there, you know, probably when I was about 8 or so, over to the Benton Road side, you know, east of the Shrimp Boat. And pretty much, man, you know, I did what I was supposed to do as a kid, you feel me? Grandmother raised me. My father was a young guy. He was 16 when I was born, so it was like, you know, I didn't know then, but I look back on it now and I'm like, okay, 16 with a son, you trying to move, it's the 80s. You know what I mean? It's like, I can only imagine how crazy that was. So, you know, he did what best he could. Shout out to Pops. His birthday just passed.
God bless. You know, a lot of us, we have to really think about that. If you think about our parents, like our parents had us in like their teens or their 20s. Think about how you were at that age, 16.
Yeah, ain't no way.
20.
What that man say? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way.
So we gotta like have a little bit of leniency, like understand a whole lot more. Like my mom was like early 20s when she had me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really mature till I was like in my 30s for real, bro. I'm keeping it all the way tall with y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, just imagine, you know, how they was though. So do you think that affected your style I know you're a father. You think that affected your style of fatherhood? I know you like real big on being in your kids' lives, bro.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, my grandmother raised me since I was 6 months. So, you know, it showed me, because I looked at that too. She was in her 30s. Or, you know, early 40s, late 30s. To take over a 6-month-old boy, change your life. You feel me? I'm thinking, I'm 40, so I'm thinking that what I'm doing now 5 years ago when I was in my 30s, I'm like, you know what I mean? Even though I did it. So that just, you know, made me strong and made me, you know, respect the fact that she did what she could as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tried to do everything I could to make sure that they was good and happy with what I was doing. You know, whether it was school or whatever it was, you feel me? Like, because it's cool to be smart.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Feel me? It's not, you know,
no fucking dummy.
Yeah, you can't be no dummy out here. We want to be a dummy? No. So, you know, it's cool to be smart out here. These youngins need to know that. Number one.
We was on that back then. We was
on that.
Who was the smartest nigga? Like, we really was on, like,
betting on tests, all that.
Tests and all, like, who was the,
you feel me?
It was whatever. We was fly. Niggas ain't play with us.
Ain't play with us enough.
You know, we had the chicks, all that, but still was like, nigga, you just got a motherfucking 77. You bullshitting. Like, nigga, what the fuck wrong with you, nigga? they might even put you in that room with that carpet in it, but they ain't season.
But you know what? That's a line a lot of people need to start pushing though, man.
Yeah.
Intelligence is gangster.
Yes, absolutely.
Ain't nothing cool about being no flyer.
Absolutely. And it translated.
Yeah.
Once we were old enough to hit the streets, it propelled you past niggas who was in the game before you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit translated. But it was a hinder too, because you thought you could do everything, and you thought you were smarter than everybody. But we get on that later.
Yeah. But you know, something about you that I always admired, and I'm gonna tell you to your fucking face, straight up. I admire your tenacity. Okay. I always admired your tenacity, because I remember, getting on Facebook and I seen you. Okay, you was chilling, whatever. Then you started your clothing line, right? Royal Highness, and that went how it went. And your wife started her thing, and you was pushing her brand. She's pushing your. You was grinding, and then it's just whatever happened with that. And then I look up, and then you got the cooking thing. It's like you just don't fucking stop, man.
Yeah, and there's other stuff that I that I want to do too, but I don't know, bro. If you would have told me, 10, 15 years ago, man, you're gonna be cooking for people and doing stuff like that. Because it's something that I do every day. You know what I mean? Like I say, my grandmother raised me. My father was young. I had to cook for myself a lot of nights. Yeah. So that taught me, and then as I became a man or a young man, went out on my own, I had to cook for myself. Yeah. Feel me? So, and the hustle part is just, I don't know, that's just in me, you know what I mean? So, I don't, because quality though, I used to do the construction thing. I got my journeymans and sheet metal, everything. I got that, you know what I mean? I could always fall back on that, but I was there at where I be at work, man, and my phone would just be going off so much with the clothes. I'm like, shit, I'm making more money with this clothes thing than at work. And then that transitioned to me just stepping to my wife, just telling her, like, look, I think I want to do this, like, full time. Not only this, but other stuff. It's because it's other things that I want to do. And she was with it.
Yeah, big up to her for supporting on that. Because
it takes
a lot of people don't have that support to be like, because a lot of women or a lot of men in a relationship when they partner want to step out into their passion, a lot of them be like, oh no, you got benefits on your job and you got this, and you sure they look at that safety, measure, as opposed to, I know who I'm married to, I know who I'm dealing with, and this is his passion, this is what he wants to do. He's a natural born husband, and her recognize that and support him. You know what I'm saying?
All the way too.
That's real big.
Not even like but I mean, of course, I go into it with a plan.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do it. Yeah, it's a plan that can go in with it, but I just felt like, man, I just want, because I'm capped when I felt capped at work. Like, okay, I felt like if I do my 40, everything else, overtime stuff like that, yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, I felt capped. Like I can only do this 40 hours a week. You feel me? I can't make more than that. Yeah. I feel like I can do more than 40 hours for myself. That's just how I felt. I had bad days. I had good days too, though. But you know what I mean. But the good outweigh the bad.
So how long have you been away from the traditional 9 to 5 and just been straight off the muscle, off the lane?
Man, I haven't worked since what's this, 22?
Yeah.
Dang, bro. Okay, wait, before COVID. So I'm gonna say probably about 2019, 2018, 2019.
That's still a blessing, though.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, step away and
just brave. Because that take a lot of
discouraged shit.
Keep it real though. It's like, man, you betting on yourself though. Yeah, you betting on yourself, and it's like, you got that trade, and like, don't let nobody fool you, bro. Like these like skill trades or whatever, plumbing, electricity, sheet metal, all that stuff, bro. You make real good money.
And on top of that, when it's crazy. Me and bro, we grew up in the sandbox, and I bumped into him on a job. We was redoing what's that?
7th Street.
7th Street, the
Kennedy Street,
the market, the Oak Street Market.
Okay.
We was redoing 2 buildings they got. I'm doing electrical shit. He doing this shit. We bumped into each other by chance.
Crazy.
Yeah. He run the sheet metal crew. I'm run electrical crew. He's like a foreman. I'm like a sub foreman. We just bump into each other on a job like that.
Just wild.
Like that's like me and him come like he run the crew. Everybody going to him for woo. And we got to move this and move that. And like, y'all got to talk to James Carter. Y'all got to talk to woo. I'm like, oh, that's easy. You know what I mean? Like, but me and him is on that job and moving and shit. Like, so it wasn't like he just regular working, he was somebody in that field. You know what I'm saying? Like running the whole. Everybody was going to him. Yeah. Everybody coming to him.
I went to school for that. I went 4 years. School, worked every day.
Yeah, AJ the same. We all did. That's crazy.
I was local 5.
He's local 5.
Okay, local 5.
I'm 26. Yeah, so we all. That's crazy. Yeah.
Shout out to local 100.
Yeah, man. Shit, I got my man. What's my man? Zip.
Yeah,
Zip. That was my man about it there, man. Hey, funny motherfucker right there.
Hey, bro,
ain't take shit off nobody.
I quit when I stopped working. I was at 40 an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, at first it was rough.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it fake. It was rough.
Yeah.
I had to cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
You feel me? But like I said, I had a partner that was like, look, we gonna work. This what you wanna do, we gonna do.
Yeah. She still in corporate America or what she doing?
Yeah, she works for Estee Lauder through Macy's. I mean.
Okay.
And she do makeup.
Okay.
Okay. So that's her thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she living in something that she wanted to do and wanted to make sure you was doing something that she enjoyed.
Yeah.
Working and something.
But actually, when I stopped, she was doing security.
Okay.
She was like I don't know what you call it. She was a supervisor doing security.
Okay.
So it's cool, you know what I mean? You know a lot of work, getting paid good money, stuff like that. But I told her, I was like, like that's cool, but that ain't you.
Yeah.
Then your purpose, right?
Yeah, man, you know what you want to do. I say, look, if you gonna take a pay cut, so what?
Yeah.
It's gonna come back
yeah,
around.
absolutely.
Don't worry about the money.
Yeah, your happiness and your peace and doing what you want to do.
That's priceless.
Cause it bring the relationship together. Yeah. Like you ain't waking up in the morning going somewhere you don't want to go. Yeah. You come back home, you gotta readjust your attitude. You come back in the house and all that shit. Like you whatever, but if you're doing something you want, you could be good and positive all the time.
So how long you been married, bro?
This year be 10 years.
Good.
October 19, we celebrate 10 years.
That's a blessing, man.
Absolutely.
I'm new to this monogamy shit. I ask all the husbands, real shit. I ask all the husbands these questions and shit like this, man. I'm nervous as shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind expressing it. You know,
that's good.
I'm nervous as shit. I don't want to fuck up. Cause I ain't Steve Harvey. I ain't finna do this shit 4 or 5 times. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good thing though, bro. Being nervous. Yeah. Anytime change involved, you should be nervous. Yeah. That's a natural feeling.
Man, so as a growing up in this area, like the women outnumber men 20 to 1 or whatever, right? Yeah. So what made you wanna like stop your reign of terror? Man,
hey man, look, man. Coming up, I was always taught to be respectful of women. Right? Not to say that I ain't had my player days, stuff like that, right? Yeah. But that should get born at a point, right? Like especially when you been there and done that shit. Like we was doing that shit in
high school. You started a little before that.
Yeah, but I mean, junior high school.
No, before that. Wow. So you have a conversation like we in elementary school or middle school. We talking about like, oh yeah, such and such is the baddest girl in school. We like, yeah, she is, man. You like, yeah, I might holler at her or woo, like, yeah, shorty, woo, you might go ahead, right? Yeah. But you might be waiting. You don't watch the 90210 thing how you gonna approach it. You don't wait 3 days. He done slid in. Next thing you know, you see him walking out the lunch line.
With his finger stanky.
He like, what's up? I'm like, what's up? Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, man, I know I gotta beat this motherfucker to the punch.
So I can't tell my guys because he know me.
That right there is a life lesson. You study long, you study long.
That's why I knew by him being an entrepreneur, jump out, like none of that shit surprises me because he had no fear then. If she told him no, it was no, it was whatever. He okay, move on. He didn't care about like how the rest of us would be sitting around debating like, what should I do? What should I say? Woo woo. He like, man, watch this.
Fuck that.
You get what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm about to shoot. He gonna take that motherfucker.
Shoot.
He gonna shoot it. He gonna shoot it. He gonna be Steph Curry or he gonna be Russell Westbrook. He gonna shoot that motherfucker.
He's gonna get shot.
Yeah, he gonna shoot that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's how you go through life, bro.
Yeah,
I shoot that shot.
So let's go back a little bit before the closing. With the you was doing the music shit.
Oh yeah.
You damn sure.
That's my first. That was my first love.
Yeah.
That was my first love.
What's that video with that nigga, man?
Yeah.
He had something.
Yeah, Purcell.
Hey, son. I used to come home off the late night drunk and high as a motherfucker.
Hey, y'all had a run.
I got a story about that song.
Go ahead.
Let's go.
We got time.
All right, so look, I got a story. That song, Bongos Purcell. Now, mind you, we all in the studio. It's Purcell, his younger brother, my man Falk.
Let him know how old you were at the time.
Shit, bro. I was
right on Wilson, right? We was in Wilson, I think.
I was in Wilson, but I was rapping before Wilson. I was rapping in Roper.
Okay.
I never knew.
My last year in Roper, 8th grade, right?
Yeah,
so 8th grade is probably right when I started writing, right? Because they were rapping already. These guys from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So when I would come out, you know, as I got like about 16, you know, high school, I was coming outside on, you know.
Yeah.
So they were already doing that shit. You feel me? So one day I just hit some shit that I was, you know, writing and shit. He was like, man, that shit good. Where you wrote that? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, come to the studio with us. Go to the studio. So that's how I made my first joint, Break Bread. Okay. We had a video for that. Winky Wright, shout out to Winky Wright, came through on that video and shot the video with us, went out of town with us, all that. But anyway, we started the project, Underworld. So P had Purcell told me he had his songs that he made, you know, the Bongos, Pursuit, so a few other joints. So we go up to BET, New York at the time. We was trying to get on one of them shows there. I forget which one it was.
The late night jump.
No, we didn't even know nothing about this.
Yeah.
This was before Uncut was out.
Rap City. Might have been Rap City.
Nah, we was trying to get on.
Teen Summit?
I can't remember, bro.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
can't remember what we was trying to get this song played, Break Bread, the one we just did.
Yeah.
We went up there, we met with them. I met AJ Free, we met Cedar, the girl that do Cedar's work. She's from here.
Yeah, she was.
I think so.
This
Yeah.
kid
So look, we up there, so they listen to the Break Bread. I'm like, oh, they gonna love this joint. They like, it's nice. Y'all referencing too many drugs and guns and stuff like that. But this time for freaking may work. I'm like, time for freaking work. So they like, yes, they like, we got this show coming out called BET Uncut. And it's gonna feature like, you know, some uncut rap videos. And this will be perfect. That's just what they said. So they put it on, you know, they span that motherfucker. And they said, what we will do, we'll put y'all song behind Cedar when she talking as the cartoon. We'll put the video behind her and play some of the audio like low. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what they did. They kept their word, they did that. And that's how Time for Freaking got on BET. Bongos Pursuit, that's called Time for Freaking. That's how that jump got on. And was the longest running video on there, other than Tip Drill.
Man, listen, on my mama, that jump was,
other than Tip Drill.
And shout out, I don't think you get enough credit for our music and just being like an entrepreneur and being a certified nigga in the city in Northeast is Purcell.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he definitely is a legend.
Yeah, for sure.
Both lanes, Pee Wee Kirkland, you know what I mean? But he definitely don't get niggas who know. But shout out to Purcell.
You know what's crazy? That's how that shit usually goes. Like the dudes that's really like doing it. Man, you know.
I appreciate him, man, because like I said, I was 15, 16. He invested like time and money into me. That's how, and that's where the loyalty came in. Loyalty came in like that. Like couldn't do nothing to him. And still to this day. You feel what I'm saying? Because he looked out for me, bro.
Yeah, man. So you know what, man? We at that moment of the show where we like to go into the random Black History Factor. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hey, man. So this one, you know what I'm saying? So I can't remember which one it is. I'm just gonna push a button. But man, so we gonna come right back, man. I need y'all to just tap in, man, and just we be right back. The random Black History Fact of the Week on the Uncomfortable Truth.
Time for freaking. You gotta get it. That's what niggas know where it's at. Like, oh. Yeah. Oh, I thought y'all stopped.
Oh no. got the history fact going on right now.
Oh no, I'm saying that's why I started laughing. I thought y'all stopped recording.
Oh no, I'm still recording.
My bad.
Done for free.
That was crazy. That's creative right there. I like that.
Yeah, man, and just like that, we back though.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so we was giving Pernell his flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we went to the Black History Fact of the Week though, man. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, if you know, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Damn sure was instrumental in what I was doing.
Man, so how did the clothing get started though?
Man, we was some fly motherfuckers, man, back then, bro. Shit, like we wore that shit back then, man. You know what I'm saying? I was on clothes too, like, you know, I was on that shit like that. I can't lie. I wasn't even like a shoe geek or nothing like that. I just love clothes, bro. Like,
What was your favorite shoe? Who got let me go back. Because you was on clothes in elementary school.
Yeah,
people don't know, I mean, I guess everybody don't know.
They don't know me from there.
But even in elementary school, you used to have that shit on. Who got you on that? Was your father being so young? Or your grandmother? Who got you into all that shit?
My father, my uncles. Shout out Drake. That's my own. That's like my youngest. He's the youngest of my uncles. He was on that fly shit. You know what I'm saying? So I saw them. You know what I mean? He was back then when they had the coats with the Vegas shit on the back with the rhinestones and shit on that fly shit. I was saying all them niggas had Psalms and Acura Legends and Z's and shit back then. And I think about that shit now, I'm like, man, these niggas like 17, 18 for real.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
That's how that shit do it. That's
They
how
was
shit
fly.
went though, for real.
Yeah, so that's where I got the fashion vibe from. I really stumbled into the clothes thing, to be honest with you. I was at work one day, and I was just thinking about shit like, man, like, what can I do? I don't want to do this shit.
Get me out of this shit.
Get me out of this shit.
Yeah, that
that
construction trade will do that to you.
Yeah,
You'll be at work and be like, man, why the fuck? And even though the money is good and you getting a fucking bag.
Yes.
And then don't get it misconstrued. Like,
you getting a bag.
Shit, you getting a fucking bag.
Every
Change
week.
your life, change your family life. You getting a fucking bag.
That's a fact.
But you also will be like, why the fuck am I here, bro? Like, what am I doing here? How did I get here?
Yeah.
Around all these people different. You like, motherfucking forklifts moving, all type of shit. You like, man, how the fuck did I get here? Like, yeah, you in a pair of old Red Wings. You like, what the fuck? A Carhartt jacket. You like, man, you get to think about life. Like, especially if you move up and you ain't really working all day, like you in charge of people. You like,
you know the shit that
you still think about it.
Like the wintertime when we used to like open deck jobs.
Oh man,
that'll make you quit.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, bro.
I cried on my first deck job, bro. Cause it started raining and it was a drizzle. It was a deck job. That job we was on.
I got a story for that job.
It was a deck job, right? And it was like, I always hear people talk about a deck job. I'm like, man, what the fuck is a deck job? Open deck. Ain't nothing there. Just concrete.
That
wind hit. And it was fucking a light drizzle. Not enough to shut the job down, but enough to fucking irritate you and wet your clothes. And it was right above freezing where it wasn't. It was like 34 degrees, a light drizzle, and the fucking wind was blowing. And you up fucking 13 stories in the fucking air. Ain't no sides, ain't nothing. That shit coming in hitting you and it's wet and it's whatever. I'm like, how the fuck did I get here, bro?
Ain't nothing but
that'll make you change. That'll make you change some shit.
Absolutely.
That's what happened. And the source of it all was so crazy. It was one of my apprentices.
Yeah. Okay.
And the day was wrapping up, and I was just sitting on some drywall, just like, man, I wanted to fuck for this shit. Because you gotta think, I started doing sheet metal. This was 2010.
Okay.
That's when I graduated the apprenticeship.
Okay.
So I was already 4 years in already. The shit changed, bro. Like it started getting like real political. You feel what I'm saying? So I was like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, that Obama shit.
Yeah, that shit was just weird.
Yeah,
I got a story about that. I got a story about that. Go ahead though, bro.
That shit was weird. So I'm talking to my man Pete, and I'm like, he like, man, why don't you do the clothes, bro? You know what I'm saying? Cause he knew me from, outside of work and shit like that. I like, nice shit sometimes and shit like that. And he was like, man, you should do the clothes. I know a dude. If you want to holler at him, I'll give you his number. No, he said, matter of fact, I'll call him and tell him to call you. He did that. So the guy he introduced me to, shout out Phrase from Itis. He introduced me to him. I went to him that day. Me and my wife, we drove out there to his shop. When I walked in his shop, I just was like, damn, like he had everything going on, bro. He was doing clothes. He had 3 studios in that motherfucker. He had a barber shop.
He had the label and everything.
He had the music, new shit. He was doing everything, bro. Custom shoes, all type of shit, right? So I'm like, damn. So I'm sitting down with him, and he say, tell me what he do for us, the clothes and shit like that. I had the idea, everything. Now, mind you, my wife was doing the clothes and shit before me.
Word? Wow.
Yeah, she was already on her shit. So I would go with her to different pop-ups back then. Like we go to pop-ups, we would do this joint over Crystal City. They do one every, I believe it's doing Fashion Week now, but they do it over at Crystal City. They do the hotel, they book a whole floor. And it's nothing but like clothes and shit in the jump, bro.
Yeah.
They let people rent the joint out. You rent out for 1 day or 2 or the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And when she did that a couple of times, and I started to see like, damn, like people buying this shit, where they buying these clothes? I'm like, all right. I started helping her, pushing her shit. And then I'm like, fuck, well, it started my shit then. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Started out, see what happened. And that's what I did. Phrase put me on with that. He did my first load. And from there, he told me the first day I met him, though, he said, look, I already know at the end of the day, from when you came in here, I know you're going to eventually step up on, branch off and do your own thing. So learn everything you can learn from. So that's what I did. When I would go pick up my shit, he'd be back there, maybe doing an order or something, and they talking and shit, and I'm just watching, looking and saying, okay, we got that machine, okay, and I'm watching.
Yeah.
And took the mental notes, man, and just put some footwork behind that motherfucker. And that's how the clothes shit started. That's how it started.
That's it. You was doing your own designs? Like
I was doing
logos,
everything. I was doing my own designs. I was doing my own everything. I was pressing the shit, buying it, sourcing the clothes, everything, bro. Making the shit, delivering the shit, packaging the shit, everything, man. Man, wife. She bought me my first heat press.
That's what's up.
Cause like I said, I had the idea. I just was like, that subconscious shit. It be telling you like, I want to do it, but that shit gonna take too long. Or I want to do it, but that's your self-conscious, bro. If you feel like you can do that shit, if you thinking about it, you can do it. I don't give a fuck what it is.
That's how we did this shit right here.
Yeah, look at this shit, bro.
Yeah, that's how we fucking talking about it.
Hey, just do the shit, bro.
Yeah, just do it.
Figure this shit out. Jump out the window.
We hanging out, we talking shit, we getting
Yeah.
together and drinking, talking shit. Anyway, we like, man, bro, we need to.
Let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
That bridge the
And I like that how you and your wife, you guys support each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the
Move as a unit, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hate to bring shit back though, but
What?
back to that fucking shit, that Obama shit. So when you guys got into the trade, I was on my way out.
Okay.
So I started like in the early 2000s.
Oh, you
2000,
started way before me.
2003.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was outside.
I did too though.
Me
You
too.
did? Okay.
Don't get it twisted.
I started
Yeah,
outside.
No, I'm saying, I didn't.
We might have been in the. You was going to the school over on Auburn Alamo across from UBS.
Yeah.
Because I was in Steam for this first.
Oh, word?
I got put out of Steam for this jump.
602. Yeah.
602.
They
Shout out to this too.
They tried to get me in Steam Fitters. I didn't do it.
Bro, I was in that joint first.
Yeah.
Didn't even. What happened, bro? I can't think if I came home from jail. That's what happened. I was locked up, bro.
Yeah.
Came home from jail. My fucking probation officer was on my ass. This dude was on my heels, buddy. He say, look, you don't get a job now. Next time you come in here, bro, send your ass back.
That's how I found the trade. I got locked up, and then I'm home, whatever. And then my little cousin, my younger cousin, he came home. He showed me this paper with the plumbing information. I'm like, shit, let me try this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta show these people the next time I go to court
That you
for
did
sentencing and shit.
Yeah.
I'm going for sentencing and shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I'm in apprenticeship. I got the job as a helper first.
Right.
And then I became an apprentice. And I'm like, okay, this shit cool. But yeah, so I'm in this shit, whatever. President Obama election jump. And so it's a dude, he was an open racist. He kept it real. He was like, man, I don't fuck with, you know. I'm like, well, we don't fuck with you. So my man was like, he said, you know what, they'll never elect a black man to be president. He said that. He said, my man, I can't remember my man's name. He said, you know what, he gonna be president and your crack a dog bitch ass mother gonna like it. And he gonna get collard rings. And she gonna eat that shit. And he said something, he just went on a dude on a tangent, right? So he said they went on and made a gentleman's bet. He said, okay, if he win, I'll give you whatever, and if he don't win, you owe me this. All right, cool. They made the bet, so President Obama won. We come to work the next day. It was a noose hanging in the fucking trailer. A noose.
Oh, shit.
So you know what happened?
Yeah.
Dude went off, and some asses got whipped. So it was a big divide on the job. It's black against white. Yeah. So you know, I'm in the black car. I gotta get in the black car. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. So they had to shut everything down, and they called out fucking sensitivity training and shit like that, and then everybody got fired and shit like that. Yeah, man. Nigga, asses got whipped.
Yeah, I came in after that. I got it traded in 09.
No, I was in that shit at first, and I was not focused, bro. Like I was in the street.
Yeah, you young. That wouldn't definitely be the you gotta be focused. Or like when I got into it, I was like, I understood what it was an opportunity. But at young man, at 20 years old, I was walking off all types of jobs.
Man, listen.
I was like, man.
You know it's hard shit to get put out the apprenticeship. You know
it is.
You gotta actually be fucking up.
You have to really try to get put out. Bro.
Yeah.
They'll work with you. They will work with you. But you know,
nah, electrical apprenticeship, they keep you out fast. They ain't. You gotta make it to that. Electrical shit, we kick you motherfuckers out.
The plumbing joint,
we kick you out fast.
The plumbing joint, you put yourself out. You come in with a dirty day. You already know they're gonna random piss test you on certain nights. They gonna let you know when to study. You know what I'm saying? So you got a dirty on you. You going. You don't go to work. They gonna fire. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit like that. Man, shit like that. So it's kind of hard, but I'm glad I was able to get that experience, to get that trade, to get that under my belt. But overall, man, fuck that shit. Straight up.
You see how fucking
it's an outlet.
You see how crazy it is, right?
Yeah.
Us being three brothers from Northeast, you know what I mean, knowing each other. We all went to Roper, right? And all educated, smart motherfuckers who took education serious, like wasn't no running around school, no bullshit. You know what I mean? Like was really took whatever, and ended up. Our story similar. Ended up in the streets at some point. You know what I'm saying? Ended up, you know what I mean, getting locked up at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like just whatever. Like then we here ended up in the trades, ended up here. Like that's fucking crazy.
First time ever, bro.
That would show you that the way you live in your environment. That shit real, bro. But we made it out. There's a lot of niggas that don't make it through that shit. That don't make it through that shit, bro.
Matter, bro.
Yeah, they don't, cause for real, if we would have been anywhere else in the world, they put us anywhere else, we wouldn't even have to go through that shit.
I'm gonna ask you both the question. What was your aha moment while you was in the streets of like, you know what, this shit ain't for me? Everybody has that aha moment. And some people's aha moment comes too late. And we're fortunate enough we had that aha moment and got the fuck out the way. What was your aha moment, Kwadi?
Mine was, my aha moment was when I was up. I was at the Heights, right? I was at the Heights, in like like what they call that shit the honeycomb. What people call a trap now. They call it honeycomb, like a little crackhead spot where you do your shut up. But because I always knew, like I never knew that I would be in the streets, but I always knew that that I would never hustle or do shit outside of my neighborhood. That's how niggas get killed, right? So I sat back and I looked at it like, bro, I'm outside of my neighborhood in somebody else's project. Setting up shop, but doing things I'm not supposed. I'm breaking all rules possible, and I'm inside of this apartment doing this shit. And I just had a moment like, this ain't it. You get what I'm saying? This ain't it. It hit me, and it took me a while to transition out of it, like maybe a year or two out of it. But that's when it hit me, like, man, this shit ain't cool. And people coming up to me telling me, like, people from my neighborhood coming up, like, and I was getting to $1 up there, like getting to $1, but. Thinking that people will be like, oh man, you woo woo. Most of my OGs and homies come to me like, man, bro, what the fuck is you doing? You get what I'm saying? Like, this ain't it. Like, you lunching. Come the fuck back home, do something different. Like, this ain't what you was made to do. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's in the street like, nigga, if you don't, you know what I mean, come the fuck back home or you don't get the fuck from up here, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with yourself? And at that moment, like, I'm like, man, I'm like, yeah, you right. It wasn't a moment like, I'm like, they gonna be proud of me. I'm getting to $1. Niggas gonna be like, oh, you moving and shaking, you know what I mean? Niggas was like, nigga, if you don't sit the fuck down somewhere, I'm like, oh, these niggas hating on me. They like, nah, bro, you lunching. You can go to jail, you can get yourself hurt up here.
You gonna die.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was my aha moment. Like, this ain't it.
All right, Carl, same question.
Mine was my last so-called run. And that fucking judge, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was at the point I didn't know what was gonna happen because back then they was sentencing you by these guidelines. So they had like a white area, the dark gray area, and the light gray area. So whatever your charge lined up with that other thing, that's pretty much what you was looking at anyway. Where they was gonna sentence you to something, and my shit was high as fuck. I was like, bro, I was sitting over there over 1901, sat over there for maybe I want to say a year or something, a little over that maybe. You know, going through this case and shit, and then end up taking the plea tool, and they still gave my ass 27 years, suspended that shit, gave me 2 years on the paper, supervised release, and so if I got in any trouble within that 2 years, I got to do that 27 and whatever the new charge is, and they run that shit consecutive. And that did it.
Yeah, that's good. Straight down. Yeah.
Because when he said it, when I got sentenced, I never forget my father was sitting behind me. And my lawyer beforehand had told me that this judge is going to be bullshit. His name was Mr. Christian. Judge Christian. Never forget this motherfucker. He made me say this shit. He said, I was 24 or some shit like that. I was 24. He said, repeat this after me. Made me repeat this shit 10 times. He said, you'll be 51 years old if you come back in front of me again. When you come home from jail. That's how old you'll be. 51. Say that. Made me say 51 10 times. And let me out of that motherfucker.
Man, that man saved your life.
Yeah, he did, bro. Because he could have
fucked you over.
Could have fucked me around.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But he didn't, you know what I'm saying? I looked at that as and then right after that, I had my daughter.
Okay.
So it was like, that too was like, you know what, I got something to live for. I got myself, but you got
that's different. You got something you got to take care of responsibility.
Yeah, just depend on me, you know what I'm saying? So I got to switch shit up. I feel like, I'm in the street, but I'm like, shit, I could take that same knowledge and the same shit I learned from the street, whether it's dealing with people or numbers or whatever it was, and just translate it to something else.
Absolutely.
Man,
what was yours?
My aha moment, I had two of them.
Yeah.
So the first one, I was like in my early 20s. I was 19 when I got my little charge. 19 going on 20. And I was 20 going on 21. Because that's when I met Bishop and Jew and all them around. I was like 20, 21. So I was like 19, 20 going on 21. And I was like, you know what, I'm hanging around these motherfuckers that, and I'm turning into the man I don't even want to be. I'm like, you know what, man, this shit ain't it. So I left that alone. Then I, got turned on to the game, hung around that, and I just been around it from my early 20s all the way just to now, still around it. And just had that moment, bro. I'm like, you know what, man, like, I still was dibbling and dabbling and other shit all the way up until the 30s or whatever. And I was like, you know what, it's like, this ain't like, bro, be real with yourself. You either all the way in or you all the way out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do both.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucked up.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, you know what? And my homie, my brother, Jew, he was like, listen. And he said the same thing. He said, man, you gotta be all the way in or all the way out. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna fuck yourself off. You know what I'm saying? It don't make you less than a man if you got retirement. You got a chance to do some other shit with this other shit over here.
Yeah.
Do that. I'm like, you know what, you right, bro.
Yeah.
And man, I just been flying straight, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been flying straight. I didn't dib and dab here and there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we all got what we gotta do at certain points.
I dib and dab here and there, but I'm gonna say honestly, Man, since it's 2022, I'm gonna say, man, for the past at least 10 years, bro, I've been straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I went cold turkey with it. After I stopped fucking around like 05, right? I went because I know how it could be. I ain't selling nigga Tylenol. Like if you need a Tylenol, I will give you a Tylenol. I'll give you whatever you need. I'm not selling you nothing. I'm not selling nothing. I'm not selling you no clothes. I'm not, because it could bring back some old shit to me. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm afraid. Like people don't understand. Like
Velvet by the dog.
My thing is people don't understand the therapy that niggas who was in the streets need to go through, like the sellers just as much as the users.
No bullshit.
They don't give niggas who was selling like that same kind of courtesy.
I just said that. That's
like they don't give you that. Like my thing was like coming out of that and trying to work and do a bullshit, because when you first start doing whatever job you're doing, you're not making the same money you was doing. You gotta readjust your whole living and life around and who you are around this shit. Like I left the streets and I'm working with government movers, like moving office furniture and shit like that. I'm making like $12 an hour, bro. I'm like, I got a check that shit like $400. And not hustle. I'm like,
every 2 weeks.
Bro, I'm like, now it was every week, but I'm like, still 400. I'm like, nigga, I was getting to a fucking. So it took. I had to readjust who I was.
Yeah.
That shit took something out of me.
Sometimes
you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? It took a while for me to get, because it wasn't therapy. If I knew about therapy, I could have did therapy and could have got me there and could have, you know what I mean, eased me to it. So I took all the lumps and bruises with that. Yeah. Like feeling less than because I ain't have money, I ain't have this, I ain't have that. And after a while, I started to be like, nah, that shit ain't important or whatever. I had to work myself through that. Yeah. But that shit was rough, bro.
Process.
Definitely a process.
Yeah, that was rough. But nah, if you need a talent, you got a headache, or your stomach hurts, you need Pepto for me, I'll give it to you. I ain't selling it to you. You give it from me, I give it to you before I sell it to you, bro. I'm not, because if I do, and that shit, if I was to do that, right, it could trigger something. I'm afraid of what it could trigger. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid of what it could trigger. You know what I'm saying?
Especially the way the game being played now.
Oh man, I'm glad. It is nasty. I'm hearing numbers. I'm like, nigga, man,
like how?
I'm hearing numbers like 50. I'm like, bro.
I'm gonna say something. Like, I remember when we was sipping syrup, right? Niggas looked at us like we was dope fiends.
Yeah.
And now motherfuckers doing it, and it's like it's cool now. Yeah. I remember when a motherfucking pint was like $100, $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit like a carload of some crazy shit.
On that note, what's the craziest shit you ever did? Like drug or whatever? Was it syrup? Okay. You ever fuck with water?
Wow.
No.
I never fuck with water.
I was always scared to. I just couldn't do it because the people come up to you. I'm not gonna say no name. There's a different custom. I'm not gonna say no name.
Yeah.
But everybody from my hood know, like the first girl I was like really into. That bitch was a whole boat head. Hey son. Oh man. Baby tripped out on the boat. Man. I swooped in like Superman and saved me.
Oh man. I never did.
Son, I'm living in my truth though.
Yeah, you got to.
Living in my truth.
I think my craziest shit I ever did was when pills was popping. Yeah. When ecstasy was popping. Now that shit, I took that shit and was like, this shit is the next, because I ain't smoke weed, I ain't do none of that shit. But I don't know what made me like, I'm gonna try that. Ecstasy, no, not Molly. I never did Molly. I didn't do Molly, right? I did ecstasy. When ecstasy was popping, like
that was bad.
The 2000s, like 2000, between 2000 and 2004, and I would take them and I would transform to a different person. I'm laid back. So I would take that motherfucker,
dancing and can't stop.
Yeah, you feel good. That's what I'm saying. You feel good. You go to a club.
Somebody drug me like that.
Every chick you see, you got it.
Take that drink.
You on top of it. You're like, man, I'm on it. Like, what's up with you? Ooh. I'm like, okay, they responding. I'm like, I'm feeling good. Like, woo. And it was like, and what fucked me up with it when I stopped taking it, because I woke up the next day and was still high. And I'm outside and I'm trying to hustle. I'm like, I feel good as fuck. I took a pill the day before at 5 o'clock. The day is 5 o'clock. And I'm still high and I'm still fucking floating and I still feel good. And I said, this how crackheads start. Leave this shit alone. Cause this shit was too good and I felt too good.
It was a New Year's Eve party and we all out and me and the homie, we moving around the club, we partying and shit, and dude like, come over, y'all sit one with us. They had the champagne. we champagne drinkers. You know,
niggas
some
definitely
sippers,
pop through.
Bro,
Definitely buy it.
so we didn't know. So we sipping our champagne and we both standing. We get the moving, get the sweat. Like, man, Bob, I think you slipped one. Like, yeah, Bob, ain't got it, Bob. Fuck it. Just ride it out, Bob. Hey, yo, so we get back to our folks. We get to shaking it out, moving and shit. We got to play it out. We dancing like shit. Hey, Slim, dancing like shit. And man, that night was wild as shit. And my other man, we walking through the club, right? And somebody called us Bama, said some sound of wild shit. My man just open hand slap. I said, nigga, I'll slap you and your bitch. Yeah. Bow! Slap the nigga, then bow! Slap this bitch.
Oh, man.
And dog, we was on one that whole night, so.
Man.
Yeah, man, but nah, that Molly, I got drugged that time, but the syrup, we was drinking syrup like early 2000s, 03, 04, 05, 06.
Yeah, you was doing
that.
You was back then when that shit was
some H-Town.
Chocolate screw that.
They was doing that shit back then. They was talking that shit back then.
Nigga, we was drinking that shit in the root beer, the Tahitian treat, Sprite. Everybody do Sprite, but we had the Tahitian treats or the root beer, some shit like that. And CVS had purple, Rite Aid had red.
Okay.
Shit. Man, nigga, I
ain't here for that service.
So I had a no, you don't want to do it. Yeah, you don't want to do it.
When you heard it taste, I tasted it before. It's good. That's
when you first drink it, bro, you gonna shit all over the place. Not on yourself, but it's like you gonna shit like crazy. And then it's like you gonna get that habit. You went to Itis and shit, bro. That ain't good. You get the baller belly, the syrup belly. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. So
I stick to the tree.
Do that, bro. Do that, man.
I stick to that.
But let's talk about now transformation, right?
Yeah.
You blowing up right now with the cooking, man.
Yeah.
You blowing up, man. You just went from just starting to 10,000 followers to fucking I thought you were at 10, and just in the conversation from last week to this week, you had 20.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 21.
Like just success and blowing up like this, right? In this endeavor that you never probably didn't think that you would, whatever. And finding success in this, how has it been?
It's kind of surprising to me, bro, because it's like everybody like, man, that's good. But I'm like, I've been doing this shit. I've been cooking them. Like, you know, for my household, I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So like, not to say like you get better. Like I'm learning like shit now because I'm putting more attention to it. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know, bro. It's just like it just feel like it's like a rush. Yeah. And it just got me thinking like, okay, so what can I do to entertain these 21,000?
Yeah.
A lot of doors been opening up for me for like being able to monetize on Instagram.
Absolutely.
You know, reaching out to brands. You know, being able to partner with certain brands and shit like that. So that's just, I'm looking forward to that type of shit.
Like certain seasons and shit like that.
And it's shit that I didn't even know that people were doing. I was watching, if y'all ain't here, if you got a business account or creator account, you can go on there and in the feed, like when you look at your feed and shit, go through your settings and shit, they got Instagram give you videos and tell you like how it works. You feel what I'm saying? So like one thing I see people do is they get discouraged. Like even when I was doing the clothes, bro, I had like people working with me, you know, or so. I had like somebody working with me, and I say, look, you just gotta post. You know? Yeah. And you know, I don't give a fuck if nobody liking the shit, bro. They see it. You feel me? You just gotta keep going though. You can't just you can't say, man, ain't nobody like ain't nobody fucking with me. You gotta keep going, bro, because everybody started at zero. You know what I'm saying? I was the first motherfucker following my shit. So I remember that day. So when I woke up, I'm gonna tell you how it went off. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This is what I believe. One day, I listen to I'm a Skins fan. You know, forever HT the Commanders. We gonna call them the Commanders.
How'd it go? We Commanders. It gets better every time.
Hey, look, I expect this from this guy. He's a cowgirl, but I expect that from him. But look, so I listen to Brian Mitchell and JP Finley every morning. So, you know, when I'm dropping my son, not when I'm dropping my son, when I finish dropping my son off, or just riding around during the day, listening to those, you know, sports news. So I noticed one day that they normally order out to eat. So I was like, shit, well, I'm gonna reach out to B-Mitch one day and see if he wanna try some of this food. So I reached out to him. You know, I went to his DM, hit him up, told him, man, you know, you might wanna try this. I sent him a picture of like some lobster shit, like a nice looking meal, you know, thinking, you know, he wants some shit like that. He was like, he didn't respond for probably about a week. So I'm like, dang, that ain't work. You feel me? So I was like, thinking about some next shit. Then he hit me. Like, man, nah, I want to try these. He sent me out through the deep fried ribs. So he was like, I want to try the deep fried ribs. I was like, bet, I can do that. You know, we set up a date. I say, man, I'm gonna, you know, drop him off to you or whatever. So I come up there. He met me downstairs at the show. You know, he was trying to get me in, but with the COVID shit going on, couldn't get him upstairs. But you know, so I gave him the food or whatever. He gave me his number, locked his number in, and I went back in the car. I'm still listening to them on the show. Man, they shouted me out. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, talking about how good the ribs was and shit like that. So I'm like, damn, I'm in the car going off. Like, you know what I mean, motherfuckers listen to the show. Like, I'm like, damn, that's what's up. So shit, I think I might have dropped off a slab of ribs, bro. Like maybe a whole slab. I think between the two dudes that had a slab of ribs. So that had a slab though. At that point, I was at 200 followers. I had just gave away a prize for the 200 followers. I remember it, right? And from there, it just started. Every day, it was just like a snowball. Boom. Different people were hitting me. Oh, I was listening to, I wanted to try the ribs B-Mitch was talking about. I wanted to do this. All right, that's okay. It's just, and then I just started posting reels, like how I make the food sometimes, like, you know, the process sometimes and shit like that. Just went crazy, bro. Like crazy. Like it was one joint that started going crazy. I think now that motherfucker might be up to like 200,000 views, some weird shit. Like, you feel me? So then I started getting traction. I started noticing people were sharing it, saving it, reposting it. So I'm like, damn, so these real motherfuckers. Because a lot of times when I had the clothing line and would post shit, really wasn't doing reels back then. They didn't have reels. But I would notice a lot of bots coming to my joint. A lot of manufacturers. Like right now, if I go to my clothing page right now, I ain't done the clothes in, I don't know how long far to get like your highness clothing. I still do custom work though. But so if I go to that motherfucker right now, it's 100 manufacturers in that motherfucker right now. We're gonna do some work or whatever. But it just ain't the passion right now. I still do the custom shit for my personal clientele or whatever like that. But the food is just
you seen the clip of the motherfucker frying the chicken on the grill, that 10 pan that went viral. And you know the 10 pan.
They cook on the grill though.
Yeah, but fried chicken in it.
In the skillet?
Not the skillet, in the 10 the tan you put food in. You know what I'm talking about? You serve food in it. 10 pan or whatever.
I
Somebody
see
fried chicken in the junk.
I see that.
You see that? You know what that was? Who? That was bad.
That was bad?
That's bad. You going viral. You can hear him talking in the background. The nigga frying, like, who the
fuck
is
my
this?
guy, Slim.
With the poker frying the chicken on the 10, that's on Clay Street.
That
that's
makes
bad.
sense now.
That's
some shit he'll do.
Yeah, man. I watched that video like 1,000 times, didn't know it. He was like, man, that's me, listen to the voice.
Hey,
like,
Slim, that's
my
my guy.
Monetize that motherfucker.
No, he just took it and went.
That's
like,
my guy.
That's him frying that chicken with that fucking the pan you created.
But see, that's how it happens.
Ran away. Yeah, they ain't had nothing to use, and he started frying that motherfucker. Nobody posted. Everybody reposted that motherfucker.
See,
that's in the city on Clay Street.
But if he had his hashtag
on the over it
or something like that, watermark on it or something, or whoever took it, if they would have shouted him out
first, whatever.
But you're not thinking that when you just posted it. But you gotta think that. I think like that now. Everything I post, I'm like, I need this motherfucker to go off like the last jump.
You know what? I'm gonna interject right there because game is only for people that can get it. He just gave up a whole lot of game right there. Think about it. Don't ever start posting and always watermark your shit. Always watermark your shit. Always put your name, something like on that joint, so that you never know when you're gonna pop off. You never know. But the day you lay off, it's a day it don't pay off. So you gotta keep posting. What's the motto, Quaddy?
Shit don't stop.
Exactly, man. You gotta keep going, man. Keep pressing.
You gotta do that, man.
Yeah, that tenacity, man. I was talking about in the first 2-3 minutes, man. That tenacity, that I can't quit, I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? I always admire that about this brother. He just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who gonna like, who gonna. Man, I'm gonna keep posting. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna press the line, bro.
I'm gonna keep going with that shit because I look at it. It's crazy that we talking about that because that was my thing with working with other people. Yeah. It's like they don't know, they don't want to start as zero.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Everybody want to get to that finish line, that midway point, and think this is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Nah, or they thinking this is what you think. You will think, man, I know this Joe fire.
Yeah.
You gotta think, bro. I work. Not only did I have a brand, but I worked with a lot of brands like Monaco Reds, my man, rest in peace, Boogie.
Yeah.
That was the first guy that came to me that was like, man, you think you can help me with my clothes or start pressing my shit up? And I did it, and we was locked in like for years, man. For years, bro. You know what I'm saying? And but that shit kept me going. Shit like that kept me going. He no longer around, so like you lose relationships and friendships like that, and then you just get you want to do some other shit, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same question I asked Brett, like now that you doing the food shit and you popping, people close to you and people around you, family, friends, and all that, want you to give them your blueprint and success. Have you encountered that? And want you to like show them how to cook, or how can I sell food? How can I do this, or how can I do that?
I haven't gotten nobody come to me like that, physically or come to me and say that.
Yeah.
But people do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Indirectly. Yeah. They're doing it indirectly, and what I tell them is more power to you, bro. Because if like, you know what I mean? Like, you not going to be the only one doing something.
Yeah.
So we got to stop this shit where those like, oh, my man got a truck of business. I ain't going to get one. Yeah. But if you ain't going to get one, work with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
you feel me? Like, we got to get out of that. I ain't going to do it because he doing this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. If that's what the world and the energy is giving you and telling you to do, the fuck you need to get on, bro. The pandemic showed me a lot. Because I had time to really sit back and just be like, man, look, from now on, what I'm doing, everything that I know I'm capable of doing and I like to do, I'm going to create revenue from it.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm going to start investing my money, into, I've been trying to learn the stock shit. I've been reading these, technical analysis books and shit, trying to figure this shit out. And, I still invest in like my cryptos and stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out how I can do my own NFT, all that shit. Because I see the world changing, you know what I'm saying? We got to change with that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what, let's lighten the mood up for a moment, man. We're going to do this rapid fire shit, man.
Okay.
We got 5 questions, right? We're going to ask them. You can't think about it. Just fucking answer. That's it, bro. All right, man. No penalties, though.
Okay.
What's the first thing you do or think of when you wake up in the morning?
Pray.
Okay. What would be something people would be surprised to know about you? It could be a hobby, type of music you like, a genre of film or TV show you like to watch.
I love jazz music.
Wow.
Now, that's like my favorite shit.
Who's your favorite artist?
Well, Kenny G, I like Nas J, George Howard, like the old shit.
Son, you know what? I always catch me with that shit. I'm gonna show you some shit I just was fucking listening to, and we gonna keep. I don't give a fuck if I'm holding shit up though. Recently played, what the fuck? It ain't even on here. You funky dog head bitch.
What you like, George Howard?
Nah, I had the Nas. I was listening to Nas today.
My father put me on to all that music.
Like, all that shit. I still want a lowrider, but that's neither here nor there. All right, cool. All right, if you were stuck on an album for 1 year and you can only listen to 3 albums, what would they be?
Ooh, 3 albums. We gonna go with the Untouchable, Scarface.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. Shit, that's tough, bro. Hit me with a whammy there. I'm gonna have to. And you know what? This is just some real shit. This is one of the newest artists that I like. Just past Dolph. I gotta take Dolph. Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah.
Dolph.
Dolph with you. Okay.
No R&B?
You know what? I can't put them up there. I like jazz and R&B and shit like that, but rap, my mode focus, that's been my 3 focus albums.
Yeah, mine, if I put one in there, it'd be my R&B. It'd be a cheap R&B because it's almost R&B and rap. I think I would have to take that Miseducation over here with me. That's one of my biggest albums.
I'm gonna pick an R&B one.
She only got one album, bro.
That's going with it. That's going with it. Album better. You saying you know some shit better than that album?
I'm taking Sade with me.
That's right. Thank you. I would have said Sade.
They don't have an album better than
Anita Baker.
They don't have an album better than Miseducation Long Hair. They don't.
You know what?
They don't.
Speak up, Uno. What you saying, Uno? It's all good. Speak up.
That's the greatest.
Speak up,
bro. You got Stevie Wonder and Long Hair. That's it.
Come in.
The Miseducation Long Hair.
Right about that.
Keys to Life.
That's it. When you want to talk about greatest albums ever, you talk about Long Hair, Stevie Wonder.
That's it. That's that.
Man,
I don't want to talk about nothing else.
I ain't thinking
my thing about
Thriller.
Lauryn Hill is she only made one fucking album.
I got
But she got it.
We're not putting her as the top artist of all time. We was talking about the album was fucking dope.
What's the album better than that?
That's what
I'm gonna think of that. You know what?
I'm
so stubborn. I'm gonna think of an album better than Miseducation. You give me a moment.
We're gonna
put it life. That's what
we're gonna post up.
We're gonna get that going on.
Nah,
the True Podcast. We're gonna put that out there.
I know that's fucking with it now.
Go ahead.
And we used to take a lot of samples from Sade, bro. The motherfucking the joint with Church Today. That's the joint. Come on, man. You gotta stop playing.
Stop playing with Sade. I do. All right, okay. Let's get back to it. Let's go. All right. Loyalty or respect?
I take the respect.
Okay. What's your favorite drink?
You said my favorite drink?
Yeah.
Oh, we talking champagne?
Nah, you tell us.
My favorite.
You got a whatever.
You know what? I love Douce. That's my favorite.
Okay.
Favorite drink.
Okay.
All right, man. Shit, and that right there was the uncomfortable truth, man. So, Jay, man, tell us where people can find you.
Man, y'all can find me on @Itis Touch Cuisine on Instagram and Facebook, and on TikTok. I just started a TikTok though. I'm trying to get in the vibe of that.
So, if they want to book you for an event, how would they contact you?
You can go to my IG and just click the email button, and you can get in touch with me right there, or you can DM me.
Yeah. How often you do like meals for people, whatever you post on your page? Like, is it randomly, or is it you got certain set times or whatever?
Yeah, right now, well, it was. I started off randomly, and then I moved to I was doing it just on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. And now, like after this Super Bowl rush and everything like that, we're gonna go from Tuesday to Sunday. No. Okay. Wednesday to Sunday. So Monday and Tuesday off.
Okay, so after you get 20, you saying it's basically today's price, not yesterday's price, or we still good?
No, we still good. We still good. I got the Valentine's Day special out right now. Yeah. You get 2 chicken Chesapeakes. That's 2 chicken breasts topped with crab and puree, lump crab and puree. Okay. You getting 2 slices of cheesecake. You know what I mean? You getting what else we getting? You getting appetizer too. You getting 12 hot honey shrimp, and you getting your choice of bottle of rose Moet or a bottle of Clique. So and 150.
Yeah, that's it.
Can't beat that. Some deals are special. Give. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Motherfuckers don't like the price. You don't like it.
Go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. If you say I'm low ball, say what you want. Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So Quality, man, where can people find you?
Yeah, at Quality Wallace, fucking Facebook, and QAADI. I don't know how people see my name, even my family, like see my name for years, and still throw that fucking U in it.
Still throw that
fucking U in there, and there's no L in there. It can be pronounced with an L, now accept it. It can be pronounced with an L like Quality. It can be pronounced with an L, but don't spell it with an L. Yeah. But Quality Wallace on Facebook. Win Now DC on Instagram, and we also getting it going, the Uncomfortable Truth, _Uncomfortable Truth podcast on Instagram, and we going.
Yeah, man, and I am Uncle Velvet Jones on Instagram, Velvet Jones on Facebook, man, and yeah, man, shit, y'all already know what it is, man. So it's the Uncomfortable Truth, y'all.
For sure. For sure. shit was good, bro. No bullshit. I appreciate y'all, man.
No problem, bro. Thanks, man, for having me. That was a good fucking episode, man. We could have fucking went all fucking night.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I said we could have went all fucking night. That was a good episode. We gonna fucking, yeah, we had to go. We got to definitely bring you back. We just talking about shit.
Yeah, for
sure,
whatever, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Go back and drop some gems, man.
Yeah, we can drop, just talk shit. Yeah, man.
Talk shit.
Absolutely, man.
And next time we get into talk some shit.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't even talk shit. Y'all was telling the truth.
Yeah,
Informative.
man.
That shit was tough.
Good shit. Good shit.
My daughter keep texting me. That ain't
I didn't even know you could. You know what I'm saying?